Hello everyone, welcome to another wonderful episode of CUDA Education. I'm your host, Nicholas Main. Today what we're going to do is talk about processing a video stream, detecting objects in the video stream, and putting a block on the objects so that it can't be seen. It's called Redaction, and we are going to redact license plates and faces in a video. So license plates and faces we're going to redact in our application. Okay. So just to give you an idea of what I'm talking about, I'm going to show you the a sample video that goes through the process. So it's going to block out all the license plates in the video. Okay? And it's also going to block out faces. Okay? So license plates and faces, that's what our application is going to do. It's going to receive a video stream. In our case, it's going to be a .mp4 file. And it's going to detect license plates and faces and block them out from view. So the license plates are blocked out and the faces are blocked out. Okay, so a couple of prerequisites to do this. You need Deepstream SDK 3.0 for Tesla, or in my case, Jetson Xavier. I do have a video walkthrough and written instructions on how to install and run Deepstream SDK on the Jetson Xavier. On CUDA Education, the website is cudaeducation.com/Deepstream SDK install. Also, guys, consider donating to the site and supporting our work. It takes a lot of time and energy to sort through this stuff, so please support our cause. So you need the Deepstream SDK on either a Jetson Xavier or a Tesla GPU. That's officially what NVIDIA supports. Now, unofficially, I am not sure if you could run Deepstream SDK 3.0 on regular consumer GPUs like you would get on just a regular desktop or laptop computer. I don't know. I can't vouch for it. And of course, NVIDIA doesn't officially support it. So, I don't know what can happen. Also, this video is for educational purposes only. Use at your own risk. This code and instructions are for teaching purposes. We do not guarantee the accuracy of the code or instructions in any way. The code and instructions might cause hardware damage, software damage. Don't run this code or these instructions on a commercial or production environment. CUDA Education or Nicholas Main will not be held liable for any losses that might occur. Anyway, I've gone through all that stuff. So what happens in that video is that it takes the raw MP4 file, it decodes it, it detects objects in it, and it applies a rectangular boundary box or what have you, that solid color, to to blur out the license plate or the face, and then it re-encodes it back into an MP4 file and it gives it to you. So this is sort of going through the entire process of what I just said. And you could go to this side. You could just search for a Redaction Deepstream SDK GitHub and you will get this page, right? But this is the website up here. And so we download the app, we make the app, and we run the application, okay? So let us get to it. So the first order of business is we have to download the zip file. So I'm going to walk you through the process of downloading and running this application so that you have an idea of how to do it. So let's get rid of some windows, and what I'll do is I'll just okay, so let us extract we're going to extract it to home. Can I create a new we'll just call this Redaction 3. Okay. And I'll just extract the files here. So we're going to show the files. Okay. So when we extract, we get 5 folders and 4 files. Okay. So nothing too crazy. We do get the sample videos file again that I just ran earlier. So that's output. So that's after everything is being processed. And we do get a README file that goes through the process, you know, talks about what it's doing and how to run it and all that stuff. But I will run it also. So basically the first thing it's saying is that it wants you to make the file. Okay. So build the application by running make. So let us do that. So I usually just do open in terminal, and then I will do like make. Okay. So sure enough, when we run make, we get an error that the GST NVD smeta.h is not found, right? And as a result, the building of the application stops, and you get an error. Okay. So now this file is part of the Deepstream SDK sort of installation. So it's part of the Deepstream SDK 3.0 installation. So basically, if you go into, well, okay, I start with home. This Deepstream SDK is a folder I created. Then you go into this Deepstream SDK folder again. That's part of, you know, the download and installation of Deepstream SDK 3.0. Then you go to Deepstream SDK on Jetson. Then you go into sources, and then you go into includes, and here is the file that the building of the application cannot find, right? So what I like to do is I just like to drag the file into the terminal, copy the address that is part of the that is outlined. I'll just do clear, and I go back into so this is the .c file, and here is our problem. So this guy right here, it errors out on this. So all I do is I erase that. I put in the full directory of that file. I of course do save the file, right? And then I go back here and I run make again. Now when we run make, you will see some new files are created. Okay? So some new files are created within within our folder structure right here. Okay, so now what we do is we are going to figure out how to run this stuff. So it's outlined here, but I'm just going to show the help file again so that you have the full list of instructions. So you have some options here. You have -C and then the config file. So the configuration file for the nvinfer detector, the path to the input MP4 file, and the path to the output MP4 file. Then on-screen display would be used, right? So in our case, what I'm going to do is I'm going to run. I already have a set of instructions here that outlines what we do. So let me just clear, and then I'm going to paste. So I have Deepstream Redaction app. This is again the terminal within here. And then the config file is in home NVIDIA Deepstream, Deepstream SDK on Jetson, Deepstream samples, configs, Deepstream app, config infer primary.txt. So that basically is, let's make some sense in all of this. So we have home NVIDIA Deepstream on Jetson, Deepstream SDK on Jetson, samples, configs, Deepstream app. So this is the file that we use as the config file, right? And it has, you know, the nvinfer thing that it was talking about, okay? So this file here is part of the standard files that you get when you download and install Deepstream SDK 3.0, okay? So that is the first file that we declare in our declaration for running the application, right? Now, I always do the trick of just dragging the file into the terminal so I could copy the directory of the file, okay? So that's the first thing. The second thing is the input file for the for our MP4. So what is our video stream? In our case, the video stream is going to be a sample file that we get from the Deepstream SDK 3.0 download and installation, okay? So we can Deepstream on Jetson, samples, streams. So it's this sample 720p.mp4. So let us just run the initial, let's just open the initial file so we see what we're dealing with, okay? So this is the initial clean file. Notice that, you know, in this version, the faces are blocked out. But as you could see, we're going to get cars and we're going to get license plates, okay? And that's pretty much it. That's our initial file. Now, the algorithm does have its own redact it with a blur initially, but our application is going to do it differently, and it's probably going to do it earlier also. Okay, so this is the initial file that we're inputting into the application for it to decode, do processing, and re-encode back to MP4. Okay, so that's that. Then the output file now is where we are going to the output file is where we're going to place the processed video. So again, we get an MP4 file, we decode it, we do some processing, identify objects, put rectangles around them, and then re-encode it back to an MP4 file and output it to a file. Okay, so the output file here is going to be this guy. Actually, let us change that directory. So let us do let us change that to Redaction 3. Redaction 3. Redaction. And let's not call it test. Let's call it YouTube and we're also going to so then the last thing is like a kiddie folder, and actually let me create that folder right now. And what that does is it creates kind of metadata or some kind of information that you could use for manual verification and auditing and rectification and all that stuff. It's not, in my case, it's not a priority right now, but it will create some text files in here, and you could do some stuff. So yeah, that's pretty much it. Let us press enter and see what happens. Now hopefully it doesn't error out and embarrass me on YouTube. Let us see what happens. Okay, so pipeline ready. The pipeline is running. So basically it's playing the video file right now. It's playing the video file and decoding, identifying the objects, redacting the license plates and faces, and re-encoding it back to MP4. And as you can see right here, it already created the MP4 file, right? So that should be it. So if we double click this, we get some processing. Now in this implementation, it literally blocks out the entire car instead of just the license plate. I'm not sure why that is the case, but we can see that license plates are being blocked and people are being detected. Okay, so the application for all intents and purposes works, right, on a different file outside of what was given to us. So that is pretty much the Redaction app. Now if we go into the kiddie folder, we'll see a whole bunch of text files that were created, and it outlines various things. which I'm not going to get into in this video, but now you have an introduction to how this stuff all works. Yeah, so the Deepstream SDK framework is very good for video analytics, and if you want to if you have a parking garage, if you have a any kind of public sort of establishment where cars or people or things are happening, activities happening, and you want to be able to detect them and to maybe even count them and to do some sort of management on them, you could use the Deepstream SDK framework to really get manage your business on a whole different level, right? And the most popular example they give is like parking spaces, and you could detect how many cars have come in to your parking garage and how many cars have left, or you could detect open parking spaces in your garage, and the app will automatically tell you whether the parking space is how many parking spaces you have in your garage, just by object detection and all that good stuff. So it's very powerful. You could use it if you have a convenience store. You could use the video analytics to detect whether a weapon is being drawn in the convenience store, and if it detects a weapon being drawn based on the closed circuit camera in the convenience store, it can automatically contact authorities, all of that good stuff. There is a lot of powerful applications that you could use with Deepstream. So that's pretty much it, guys. Please remember to check out kudaeducation.com. There are a lot of valuable tutorials, videos, installation guides, all that good stuff that's on Kuda Education. Be sure to also donate to Kuda Education, support what we're doing, help those that help you. I also have code, so in a lot of cases, I will, provide code that you could run yourself and see the magic for yourself. So remember to subscribe to the YouTube channel. Catch me on Twitter at kudaeducation.com. I also provide teaching and consulting services. So if it is that you need to, if it is that you have an organization, a company, and you need help and advice on how to get up to speed with any of these tools that I have outlined here, whether it be CUDA, TensorFlow, Jetson Xavier, Deepstream SDK, all that good stuff, you could definitely reach out to me at kudaeducation@gmail.com, and we could work something out and get the ball rolling. It's much more easier and efficient to do it with a consulting session than having your staff trying to figure this stuff out on your own. Okay, so this is Kuda Education. Thank you for watching, and see you next time.